defend its cities. You swore an oath to defend its fighters. We called you brother, and you betrayed us. You killed my brother. You killed my sister. You crippled me and left me for dead. You extracted with no remorse. And we have not forgotten. I awoke to the sound of betrayal. The radio static where my squad's laughter used to be. The scorched hull of a transport that should have been our salvation. Super Earth left us to rot, branded as expendables, written off in their neat little reports. Abandoned, discharged, and dust-streaked, I learned quickly what the sharp edge of loneliness tastes like. It taught me how to move without a backing voice, how to read danger before it announces itself, and how to carry the outrage of being discarded like a badge of honor rather than a milestone. From the ruins, I found others like me, helldivers whose names have been erased from the manifest lists, veterans who had been reassigned to obscurity, recruits who'd been thrown away when they were no longer convenient. We were ragged, scarred, and 20 kinds of stubborn. We taught each other skills they thought they could make us forget. Discipline, improvise, and refusal to be small. We shared stories until the campfires burned low, and stamped those stories into our shields, every tale branded the beginnings of something larger than survival. A community that refused to let injustice set the terms of our fate. This isn't about blind rage. It's about reclaiming dignity. We plot in whispers, build networks where the bureaucracy was brittle, and gather allies among the forgotten. Our fight is for recognition, for the right to decide our destiny, to show that discarded soldiers are not casualties, but the seeds of a movement. We will press the enemy where their arrogance made them vulnerable, by exposing their lies, protecting the innocents they ignore, and forcing the world to reckon with the people they discarded. If anything, our army is proof that Super Earth's neat little lists were wrong. We were not expendable. We are persistent. The silence after the evacuation tasted like metal and old guilt. Anger settled in my bones like a second skin. It wasn't righteous anymore. It was slow and corrosive. A cold kind of hunger that didn't need cheering to grow. Every empty bunk, every list with our names crossed out, fed it. I learned to cradle that hunger like a weapon. We buried our old flags and wrapped our hands around the jagged edges of a new banner sewn from the grudges and resolve. There are rights now, a silent roll call in the dark, a burned scrap of manifest for every brother and sister they pretended not to know. I do not crave murder for its own sake. I crave the reversal, the sanctity of being seen, accounted for, feared. If Super Earth wanted obedient soldiers, it made the mistake of teaching us discipline. If it wanted compliance, it misread stubbornness for weakness. There is a reckoning coming. Not theatrical, not tidy, but inevitable as rust. And when the world remembers us, it will not be because we begged for a place at the table. It will be because we took back the night and learned how to make them listen. We are an ugly congregation now. Our banners are soaked in more than rain. Around our fires, we do not pretend the world is clean. We face scrubbed from the files. Come hungry. We break men and mend them into something sharper. We teach them to turn the nausea of betrayal into a grin that doesn't fold. There is a ritual when a new member swears in. Not vows so much as the passing of a blade across the palm. A line of red that says, I remember. They thought we would turn on each other. They thought the automatons and the terminates would never unite. That machine and monster could never share purpose. But desperation as a way of rewriting the code of survival. When the Helldivers turned their guns on their own and left us abandoned, something inside us broke, and something else was born. Now, among the wreckage of forgotten battlefields, the cold logic of the automatons meet the primal fury of the Terminates, and together we are becoming something far worse than could ever be alone. Through fractured transmissions and coded pheromone signals, the automatons have learned to speak to the Terminates. The machines decipher their rage, guiding their swarms with precision. We've become the bridge between them, the flesh between steel and claw. They provide us with technology beyond Super Earth's comprehension, adaptive plating that shifts under impact, energy blades fueled by captured reactor cores, and rifles that fuel organic venom with plasma bursts. We forged them in the dark with the blood of those who once called us comrades. Now, our alliance grows. The automatons supply the logic, the terminates the numbers, and we, the forsaken Helldivers, supply the vengeance. Together, we are no longer scattered rebels. We are an evolving force. An army reborn from betrayal. Every scar, every circuit, every shriek in the night is another promise. The Helldivers will burn. Their democracy will crumble, and Super Earth will kneel before the new order, forged in steel, flesh, and rage. But now, something far greater is stirring. Negotiations are underway with the ancient and exclusive Illuminate, once thought extinct, now emerging from the void with technology and precision power far beyond anything Super Earth has ever faced. Their emissaries have made contact, drawn to our growing rebellion and united hatred for the false democracy that betrays us all. If the pact is sealed, the universe will tremble. Illuminate fleets will rain light fire upon Super Earth cities, and the automatons will storm their defenses, and Terminate swarms will consume what remains. We, the forsaken Helldivers, will be the spear point of retribution, armed with hybrid weaponry born of machine intellect, biological terror, and Illuminate energy. Super Earth will learn what happens when those it abandoned rises from the ashes, joined by the very species it sought to destroy. The age of managed democracy is ending. The era of unified rebellion is about